therefore it has to be taken out. And therefore the Lord reclaimed the throne, which is actually belongs to him only. Hiranyakashipu was trying to grab it for his own enjoyment. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 5.29 that Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. That means he is the supreme enjoyer and the Lord of all the planet. So the throne actually belongs to Krishna. He was just only he was misusing it. Same way in our life also, whatever we possess, it is all given by Krishna's mercy. It could be some material possessions, property, or whatever we have, skills we have. Everything is given by Krishna. It is given on loan. It can be taken back. Hiranyakashipu was having all this power and throne, and he was conquering. He thought that all the three worlds belongs to him. So within few minutes, everything was over, and that is the case for all of us. We may not be like Hiranyakashipu, having so much of power, but whatever little power we have, whatever little possession we have to realize that it is all belongs to Krishna, and therefore we should utilize it properly in Krishna's service. We are just custodians. We are not the right proprietor or the owner. So this is the mood of a devotee. So therefore, he utilizes everything in properly in Krishna's service. Another important point here we see is the Lord never forget Jaya. Jaya. Who is Hiranyakashipu? Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they were all brothers, and they were originally Jaya and Vijaya in the spiritual world, doorkeepers. You know, in any Vishnu temple you go, in the side, entrance door, there will be two personalities as doorkeepers. So they are the actual Jaya and Vijaya who are in the Vaikuntha planets. And because the Lord wanted to perform pastime, they came. They took the role of demons. They want to give pleasure to the Lord by fighting. So that is also a seva. So although Lord Narasimha was so angry towards Hiranyakashipu, Lord Narasimha knows he is not Hiranyakashipu is none other than Jaya. So therefore he did not forget Jaya. Same way the Lord will not forget any one of us. He always remembers us. So of course we don't follow the example of Hiranyakashipu trying to oppose Lord Krishna. But even though he acted, it was Lord's plan, and therefore the Lord never forget his devotees, affection towards his devotees. Therefore, it is mentioned here that he is known as Bhakta Vatsala. The Lord is known as Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Vatsala means he never forgets even the smallest service rendered by his devotee. So we may think that, oh, the Lord is great and what little seva we are doing, whether the Lord knows or not, whether he will reciprocate or not. Definitely Krishna will reciprocate. That's why he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, that my devotee is never lost. So even if you offer a flower, fruit, water, Krishna accepts it. That is the beauty of the Lord. Although as the Supreme Lord, Krishna is only looking for his devotees' love. So Krishna is not measuring in terms of volume, but in terms of quality, value. Hiranyakashipu, he occupied the throne through pride. But when he was removed, the Lord took his rightful place. Similarly, our heart is meant to be the Lord's throne. We want Krishna to come and sit in our heart's throne. But our heart is covered with false ego. So therefore, we have to remove this false ego, which represents Hiranyakashipu. So when a false ego is removed, then Krishna will come and sit in our heart. So that we need to understand. So therefore, we have to bring Krishna in our heart. Just like Narasimhadev, he wanted to sit in Hiranyakashipu's throne, Krishna also wants to sit in our heart. He's just waiting that when we will give up our false pride or false ego, then the Lord will come and sit. Hmm? Also, we should not judge a devotee temporary circumstances. And everything, whatever we have, should be offered with devotion to Krishna. So this we need to understand. Okay, text 35. So, as Lord Nrsimhadev was sitting there, what happened? Um, the wives of the Devatas, they all came and they all showered flowers over Nrsimhadev from the heaven. They are waiting for this opportunity because Hiranyakashipu was like a deadly disease. The Bhagavatam, it compares Hiranyakashipu as a dangerous disease, and therefore he became a painful burden upon the three worlds because Hiranyakashipu was disturbing the universal order everywhere. So the greatest disease is not just merely physical illness. The greatest disease is forgetting Krishna, forgetting the Supreme Lord. So godless leadership spreads the fear throughout the entire society. So if we have to remove the fearlessness by devotion only, it is possible. Devotion only can restore our spiritual health and happiness. Hmm. So this we need to understand. So the Lord is the supreme physician. So when disease becomes dangerous, what does the doctor do? They perform difficult surgery. Similarly, the Lord, He removed the universal source of suffering. Who was the suffering causing the suffering? Hiranyakashipu. Now He removed him. So therefore everyone became very happy. Especially the wives of the Devatas. They were waiting because their husband, they are not able to do their proper duty because of Hiranyakashipu. Therefore, they started showering flowers and expressing loving gratitude. So we should be always grateful to Krishna, whatever he is giving us. So that is a lesson we need to learn from here. So therefore, divine justice is restored in the universe and everyone became very happy. And the Lord protected Prahlad because Prahlad is the immediate protected devotee. Along with Prahlad, others also got the mercy, like the Devatas, the sages. Again, the whole universe started function in a proper order. Hiranyakashipu has caused so much of disturbance. So real celebration means honoring the Supreme Lord. So this is very important. Another important lesson we need to learn is material power can never last forever. Hiranyakashipu had a deadly weapons, power, great power, but it doesn't long for long. And when Nrsimhadev came, everything was finished. So that is the point we need to understand. That gratitude is the ornament of devotion. The ladies, they are feeling heartfelt appreciation. So that gratitude, it is became an act of devotional worship. If you gratitude, then it will soften our heart. And thankfulness invites even greater spiritual blessings. So therefore, every day we should offer gratitude to Krishna that because of His mercy, that we are able to perform our duties. Right? Therefore, we should be very grateful to the Supreme Lord. Okay. See 36. And all the other devatas, they all filled the sky. And there was celebration, drums and kettle drums were sounded. Heavenly women were dancing and Gandharvas sang sweetly. So when there is a um, joyous occasion, then all these devatas, they all celebrate. Because during Hiranyakashipu's reign, what happened? All the devatas, they were hiding from Hiranyakashipu because he was so much torturing them. Now they got full freedom. So everyone wanted to see the Supreme Lord. So they took this opportunity and they appeared in Hiranyakashipu's palace to see the Supreme Lord. So what we see here, whenever the Lord performed this wonderful pastime, all the people from the universe, they are attracted towards Krishna. Hmm. So its description is that even airplanes are filled in the sky, celestial airplanes, not this kind of today's Airbus, Boeing, that kind of airplane. So this kind of airplane required a lot of this fuel, but these airplanes described in Bhagavatam are different technology. Doesn't emit so much of carbon. So these are our descriptions are there. Then there were musical instruments and all these heavenly girls, they were all dancing in ecstasy. So Gandharvas, they sang sweetly. So everything became very auspicious. So devotional service is joyfully performed. So some people think that spiritual life means, oh, very boring. We have to sit in one place, having having big beard, always seeing very serious. No, it is not like that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what? It is like susukam kartama vyayam. Susukam means it is joyfully performed. That's why devotees of Krishna, you see that they are always chanting Hare Krishna, dancing, they are all, feasting. Everything is joyfully performed. So when you are with the association of devotees, it is always a festival time, joyful time. So our Bhakti Yoga process is a very, very simple, very effective, at the same time, very joyfully performed. So naturally, the Lord became the center of the celebration. And when devotional service is performed, everyone, then automatically, uh, and when everyone is desired only the Lord's pleasure and satisfaction. So that's why we celebrate all these festivals, Janmashtami, whenever the Lord incarnates or whenever the Lord performs so many wonderful pastimes like Diwali. These are all occasions. Why we are celebrating? Because everything is connected with Krishna. But nowadays, people don't know what is the reason of celebration. Celebration means people think that to have nice kind of sense enjoyment. That is not the purpose. All these festivals has got the purpose behind it. In all this celebration, the Lord is glorified. That is the main important point. So festivals are welcome, and in every festival, the Lord is glorified, and devotees happily chant Hare Krishna and dance and feast, distribute prasadam. So this is the real festival. Okay. Text 37, 38, and 39. All these three are one shloka. So we see that even Lord Brahma, Indra, Shiva, everyone, they were all approaching Nrsimhadev one by one to congratulate Nrsimhadev for his glorious act. Everyone started worshipping the Supreme Lord. So all the differences disappeared and they all acknowledged the greatness of the Supreme Lord. So Lord Brahma, he approached with great humility and he offered reverence. Lord Shiva, he offered his respectful prayers. Indra offered his respectful prayers. So real leaders means always honor the Supreme Lord. So that's what we see. Even the greatest personalities, they worship the Supreme Lord. Every planet was properly represented. Not when everyone came from, all the leaders came from different planets to see Lord Nrsimhadev because this form was not seen before any time. This is the first time Lord has taken such a very unique form. So everyone was astonished. They found it very grateful to see the Supreme Lord at form. So they folded hands and expressed genuine humility. So, so they are not just doing offering just for the sake of offering, but they are doing out of great humility. Like nowadays we see the political leaders, they offer a namaskar because if they don't offer, their position will be gone. It is not like that. All this great Devajoy, they are offering their respect to Lord Nrsimhadev. So, offering prayers is very, very important. One of the 9 devotional service process. So, we can glorify Krishna by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. There are wonderful prayers are there. Prayers by Kunti Maharani, prayers by Bhishma Deva. So many is there. So, we may not be great, very poet or very poetical or very learned, but if we simply repeat this prayers sung by the great devotees, the Lord will be very pleased. So that is the main point. So when these opportunities are there, every day we should offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. By offering prayers, we are glorifying the Lord. Actually, what happens is that a devotee also gets glorified. Just like the example is given, when you put makeup, when you see in the mirror, automatically you see that you are reflecting. The mirror also is getting reflected. Same way, when you are actually glorifying Krishna, the devotee is also getting glorified. Therefore, we should offer daily prayers. That's why there are so many songs glorifying Krishna. We should sing all these songs and glorify Him. Huh? So therefore, we have to make devotion is the life's highest priority. And there is a description of Gandharvas, Charanas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, Vitalas, Kimpurushas, all these personalities, everyone, they came to Hiranyakashipu's palace to offer their respective prayers. In text 40, so Lord Brahma, he is offering his personal prayer. What does he says? You are all unlimited, all potent. No one can measure your power. Your actions are never material. You create, maintain, annihilate easily. Yet you remain the same unchanged. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So, Lord Brahma, he himself admits that one may say that Lord Brahma is actually doing the creation, but actually Lord Brahma knows that he cannot do the creation without the help of Krishna. So Krishna is giving this empowerment. That's why he is able to create it. So therefore he is actually glorifying Lord Nrsimhadev that you are the one who's creating this, both the material and the spiritual world. And he's saying that Lord's activity, your activities are very inconceivable. Inconceivable means cannot be understood by ordinary people. Human logic cannot fully understand the divine arrangement because every pastime reveals unlimited wisdom and compassion. So, therefore, we need to trust the Lord. His plans always benefit sincere devotees in time. So, we may be thinking, someone may be thinking, why Prahlad? He was a very small boy. Why is he going to undergo so many difficult situations? But it is all actually glorification of Prahlad Maharaj because he was steadfast, determined in his devotion to Krishna. If Prahlad was not putting such difficulties, the whole world will not know about Prahlad glories. Same way the Pandavas. The Pandavas also underwent a lot of difficulties. But what is their example? Their example is that they were very steadfast in their devotion, unwavering. They were always depending on Krishna. So therefore, the Lord's inconceivable, the Lord may do so many wonderful pastimes that may not be understandable, but Lord Brahma is saying he himself cannot understand the Lord's inconceivable potency. Also, we see that Prahlad here, he appeared in demonic family. Still, he became a greatest devotee. So, anyone can practice devotional service. Pure bhakti can blossom in any circumstances. Yeah. And also we see that uh, even the Lord's servants cannot be understood fully because Srila Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, even the great devotees, they perform inconceivable devotional activities. So it is not possible for ordinary intelligent people to understand them. Then Lord Shiva said, so in the form of time, you finish the entire creation. Now that Hiranyakashipu is killed, please protect Prahlad, your devotee. Kindly protect him always. So a devotee is always very compassionate. The other name of Lord Shiva is Asutosh. Asutosh means what? He is very compassionate. He is easily pleased also. So Lord Shiva, when he saw that Prahlad was so much tortured, that he felt very compassionate for Prahlad. Therefore, he is recommending and he is requesting the Lord to protect Prahlad, his devotee. Hmm? Already Hiranyakashipu, you have killed him. Now you protect Prahlad. So Lord Shiva, he also performs uh, service. That what is his service? At the end of the Kalpa, he destruct the whole universe. So that is the will of the Lord. So whenever the Lord wants, this creation, maintenance, and destruction goes on continuously like a cycle. So when Lord wants performation, Lord Brahma does it, and Lord Vishnu, he himself maintains the universe. And when it wants to be destroyed, Lord Shiva performs this service for the Supreme Lord. Hmm? So Shiva is saying that Hiranyakashipu is actually very, very insignificant before Narasimhadev. So therefore, Lord Shiva is saying that his power is nothing in front of you. The material power, it can never overcome the Lord's supremacy. And we see that Prahlad is always fully surrendered to all circumstances. Yeah. Text 42. So who is saying this? Indra. Indra is saying that you are our deliverer and protector. Our sacrifice share returned by you. Hiranyakashipu's fear overtook our hearts. Now your presence has removed all our darkness. So we need to understand who is our real protector. Krishna is our real protector. Yes, we may have in this life our parents, our friends may give us little bit of protection, but ultimate protector is Krishna because he alone can remove every danger permanently. So therefore, our ultimate dependence should be on Krishna, not of this material world. And also we need to understand that any sacrifice is performed, the ultimate benefactor is Krishna. And although the devatas they receive, then it is all given back to Krishna. So because he is the bhokta, he is the ultimate enjoyer. Another point is that the demons they always disturb the religious activity of the people. So therefore, the demons they oppose everything connected with devotional service. So Lord Indra he wanted to perform sacrifice. So therefore now he can do it. And Hiranyakashipu has finally been killed. Text 43. Then the sages who are assembled there, they also prayed, O Lord, Supreme Protector of those at your lotus feet, you are the original personality of Godhead. Austerity and penance you taught us your own spiritual power. By austerity, you create this material world. So this demon disturbed it, but you have restored it. By appearing as Narasimhadev and killing the demon, you have proved austerity again. So very important point is that austerity. Human life is meant for tapasya. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam. Human life is not simply for material enjoyment. Human life is meant for tapasya, meant for self-realization. It's meant for making spiritual progress. So our life will become successful only if you follow a disciplined spiritual practice. And why we need to do tapasya, take austerity? Because it purifies our heart and consciousness. Therefore, we have to do tapasya. And human life carries unique spiritual responsibilities. So the Lord Himself, He is saying, giving instruction. The process of austerity. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, if you find that there are many slokas, there are do's and don'ts. So we need to follow these principles. Unless we follow these principles, we cannot progress in spiritual life. And spiritual life is not just a part-time job that we need to uh, practice our whole life, right, to purify ourselves. So therefore, we need to learn all this subject matter, and therefore, of course, in today's life, people doesn't care for tapasya, for spiritual activity. All they want to do is some bogus kind of some activity that they want to claim that they are also spiritually inclined. But actually, tapasya means Krishna's. We have to follow the regulative principles. We have to live according to the principles of Bhagavad Gita. So, like we have to get up early in the morning to chant the holy name, take bath, perform arati, offer bhoga to the Lord, take as prasadam, avoid eating food which is not cooked by devotees. So these are all simple things in Kali Yuga we need to do. We have to be clean internally and externally. So in this way, unless we perform this austerity, we cannot understand the finer spiritual um, sentiments or the final principles involved in devotional service. Because in the initial stage, it may look like little difficulty, but as you start practicing chanting Hare Krishna mantra, everything becomes so simple that you will find it very easy to perform devotional service. It will no longer become an austerity or tapasya. Hmm? Here, Hiranyakashipu, he destroyed all the spiritual culture. Now the sages are happy because they can do all the spiritual activities without any hindrance. Because the Lord, he restores the dharma as he is confirming in Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharma Glanir Bhavati Bharata. Whenever there is a decline of religious practice, then Krishna comes and he restores dharma. So Hiranyakashipu was doing all kinds of adharmic activities. Therefore, he has come as Narsimhadev to kill him and then to make the people follow the path of dharma. And the saintly people, they felt relief, great relief, because Hiranyakashipu, he did not allow the devotees of the Lord to perform any kind of activities. And now they have become happy because Hiranyakashipu is gone. So therefore, the saintly people are offering their respects and gratitude towards Lord Narasimhadev. And then who next comes? The inhabitants of Pitraloka. They are also very happy because that's why whenever this Tarpana is done, all these things are going to the Pitralokas. And because Hiranyakashipu was torturing, all this was stopped. And now the devotees start doing this. People start doing all these Vedic rituals. Then the residents of the Pitraloka, they also become very happy. Therefore, Shraddha is a very important Vedic duty. Householders, we should perform our duty to remember our forefathers. Of course, in Kali Yuga, some people cannot perform, but if you just invite devotees and perform Hare Krishna mantra, and distribute prasadam, that is equivalent to all kind of rituals what you do in Shraddha ceremony. Like today's generation, most of the parents, their children are in foreign countries. How they will do able to do the Shraddha ceremony? Traditionally, it is not possible. To perform Shraddha ceremony, you have to invite Brahmanas, perform Hovan. These are all not possible in foreign countries. But what they can do is call devotees to your house, perform Sankirtana, chant Hare Krishna, do Sankirtan, and distribute Prasada. So that is equivalent to performing in a traditional way where time, place, circumstances does not allow. So these things are very important. That's why this once in a year, the Shraddha ceremony that children are duty bound to do for their parents. So now all this can be performed. Text 45. The Siddhaloka. The residents of Siddhaloka, they also offered prayers to the Supreme Lord. Because the Siddhaloka people, they have mystic powers. And because Hiranyakashipu, he stole all the powers of the Siddhalokas, Siddhis. So they became powerless. Now they again got back their power. Just Krishna killed by snails, Hiranyakashipu. Right? So the lesson what we learn here is that Hiranyakashipu, he performed austerity but without devotion. Therefore, what happened? It created pride within him. Why Hiranyakashipu performed severe austerities? For personal ambition. Not that he wanted to please Krishna. He wanted to gain, this strength, material power, so that he can conquer. And that has become the actual cause of his destruction. Therefore, power without devotion, it will corrupt one's consciousness gradually. Therefore, Krishna does not given, he will not give power which is not required for his devotees. And the false ego, it misuses every valuable spiritual achievement. So therefore, we should always be humble and we should be always feel grateful to Krishna, whatever he gives us in our life. And we should not be demanding the Lord to give more and more material power. Because the more we get material power, we get more chances of getting more proud. So that is dangerous. And if pride is there, then we will start misusing the power. If it is not properly, if it is not the devotee. So therefore, Krishna, here we see that Siddhalokas, the residents, they felt great relief. Why? Because they got the freedom back and they can have their powers by which they can perform the duty towards Krishna. Text 46. Here the the residents of Vidyadhara Loka. So there are many lokas are there. The Srimad Bhagavatam gives so many examples, so many description of the different planetary system where different kinds of people are living there, living entities are there, and what they are suffering of prayers to them, that you have killed Hiranyakashipu, and they also have mystical abilities also. And Hiranyakashipu had bodily strength and he was so powerful, but Lord Narasimhadev, he restored justice and demonstrated no mystical power can stand before Krishna. So again, we need to understand that the Vidyadharas, they also possess extraordinary abilities. But everything depends on Krishna, not independent on Krishna. So every talent Krishna has given us, we should try to glorify Krishna. If we are skillful even in material activities, somehow or other we should connect back to Krishna. If you are a civil engineer, you can build temple for Krishna right? Same way, every skills, everyone service can be utilized for Krishna's purpose. Therefore, we should not allow pride to blind our intelligence. That we should be careful always. Yeah. Text 47. Who are these people? They are the Nagas, right? They also came and offered respectful obeisances to Lord Narasimhadev. So there is a Nagaloka is there. From Nagaloka, they all came and offered obeisances. And then who else came? Manu. And what is the role of the Manus? They they are the order carriers. And they make the laws of Varnashrama Dharma. Right? And now why they are happy? Because Hiranyakashipu destroyed all the laws made by the Manus. And therefore they are very happy. And now they are asking to and they are asking Lord Narasimhadev to give them order so that they can carry out his order. And it's very interesting that we see that the laws of Manu, these are all given by the laws. And these are laws of Varnashrama Dharma. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also talks about Varnashrama Dharma, right? Chaturvanyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhavachanam. So this Varnashrama system is what basically we need to understand, because there is so much of confusion about this Varnashrama Dharma, or we say that Sanatana Dharma. One should follow this Dharma, and these are all not just made by the ordinary human beings. It is all given by Krishna, and Krishna has empowered the Manus who have given the laws, who have made the laws according to his direction. So every law ultimately originates from Krishna, because the Lord perfectly he knows, understands everyone's real welfare. Therefore, his instruction, it will never become outdated or it is not imperfect. So the Krishna, whatever he says in Bhagavad Gita, those are perfect laws. We need to follow these principles for our own, not for just for anybody else, for our own uh, welfare. So those laws are there. Just like the government is also making so many laws to protect the citizens. Same way, ultimately the supreme law is the most, that is, the supersedes everything. But the problem in today's society is what? Nobody follows anything. And the Manus, they are saying that we are very, very humble servant. They are not claiming independence. They are also excited to serve Krishna under his direction. So leadership means serving God's purpose faithfully. Great leaders, they remain humble before Krishna. We are all supposed to carry out the order of Krishna. In India, the problem is everyone believes in God, everyone worship God. But the problem is that how many of them know the principles they have to follow? That is the issue. So Varnashrama is the Lord's scientific arrangement. For what? For human progress. Because it gives the guidelines. Every person, according to his suitable duties, he can perform his responsibilities. Therefore, the society functions harmoniously if it followed properly. And especially the laws are made. Human is meant for. Hare Krishna. Kindly mute yourself. Hare Krishna. Narasimha Raghavan Prabhuji. Mute yourself. Krishna. So human intelligence means that it seeks eternal spiritual perfection. So our life will become meaningful only if we follow this principle. Otherwise, in today's society, what happens? Everyone makes their own law and nobody wants to listen to others. My way is highway. No one should interfere in my way. Nobody likes to be interfere. Everyone wants to make their own law, right? And there is also so much of misconceptions about Varnashram Dharma and Sanatana Dharma. We'll talk about it. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, he some no nasasiddhi mavapnoti yashashtra vidhi mustrijya vartate kamakarta means that anyone who does not follow these scriptural rules and regulation, nasasiddhim, that means he will not obtain perfection and neither he will obtain happiness. So these laws are given for our safety and for our happiness. That's why we must read Bhagavad Gita thoroughly and understand these principles. And we have to live as per the principles. Not that is enough that I believe Krishna, I believe Rama. That is fine. But what we follow in our life is very important. So Manu Samhita is based on Krishna's instruction. That
Go ahead. No more good. Father, no better.
Sir, please mute your phone, sir. Narasimha phone, sir. Mute your phone. It's unmuted. You are talking.
பாகவதம் சொல்றப்ப அது என்னமோ மியூட் யுவர் ஃபோன் எப்படி மியூட் பண்றதுன்னு தெரியல எனக்கு.
மியூட் யுவர் ஃபோன் சொல்றாடா. நீ ஃபோன் இதுல கால்ல இருக்கியா நீ?
so therefore we need to read the scriptures regularly, and we should also teach our children regularly about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatham. Then only we know that what are the principles we need to follow. Just say simply accepting God in our life, not following anything, it is like a hypocrisy. So we should not be like a hypocrites. We should actually, if we want to claim ourselves as devotees, we should follow the principles. People don't have anything, they don't have any idea about what is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means what? These are the principles that what does Sanatana Dharma teaches us. Every living being is an eternal Atma, soul. Right? This is the first thing. Second thing is everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Amai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. So everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. The third teaching is every soul deserves respect. So we not only respect human beings, we respect all living entities because each and every living entity belongs to Krishna. They are servant of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what he's saying? I am the father. Aham, he's saying, I am the supreme father and mother of all living entities. So we cannot disrespect anyone. We have to offer all the respects, whether they accept our views or not. But as a part and parcel of Krishna, we should respect. And what is the goal? The goal of our life is to obtain pure love for Krishna. That is our ultimate aim. And real happiness comes through devotional service. This is what Sanatana Dharma means. So we should understand this, what is Sanatana Dharma teaches us and why Varnashrama Dharma is required. So Varnashrama Dharma is required, is a scientific arrangement. Without Varnashrama Dharma, there cannot be any peaceful society. And you cannot avoid that also because it is a natural order. The society functions harmoniously through cooperative service together. That is Varnashrama system. Therefore, we need to follow these principles. What does the Varnashrama Dharma says that people are classified according to guna and karma. Chaturvarnyam guna karma vibhagasha. That not because of by birth. Some people are claiming that Varnashrama Dharma or Sanatan Dharma is making division among people, and therefore there is people are misunderstanding, and therefore there is a there is a friction among people. But that is not the teaching of Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Dharma teaches us what people should do their occupational duties, guna karma, according to the guna, according to the nature they have got. So if somebody is intellectual and they are like, they can act as like a teachers. And if somebody is having administrative qualities, they can be like administrators, kings, or politicians. And somebody is having a nature of doing business, they are called Vaishyas. And somebody who can serve all the three society by physical work, they are called Shudras. So this is technical names meant as just like when you go to the office, you got a manager, you got a supervisor, and you got some laborers, you got. So when you call by the manager, when you call a manager or when you call a supervisor, you are not, trying to minimize that person. You are giving the name of that, the designation is giving according to their work. Same way, when a person is called Shudra, it is not trying to uh, minimize that person's quality. No, that is not the Varnashrama teaches. That is not what Sanatan Dharma teaches. So you cannot avoid that one. In the material world, you have to differentiate people according to the guna and karma, not by birth. So that is wrong. If somebody is misusing Varnashrama Dharma or Sanatan Dharma based on the birth, that should not be accepted. That is not Bhagavad Gita's teaching or Sanatan Dharma's teaching. So therefore, people who are malicious, people, the politicians, or the people who are against Sanatan Dharma, they are trying to confuse people by creating confusion among the mass of people. They try to equate by showing that, by judging the Vedic system, by corrupt history, by showing some past people who are misused. So, and they ignore Krishna's definition of guna and karma from Bhagavad Gita. And they equate all social inequality based, which is because of the Varnashrama system or Sanatan Dharma, which is not the fact. And some use some isolated examples, some kind of violence based on, and they give reason because of this Varnashrama system. But that is not the way, that is not the original teaching of Sanatan Dharma or Varnashrama system. So, such misunderstanding is purposely created among people because the general mass of people, they don't have any idea because nobody reads Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatham very seriously. Only a very handful of people are reading. So generally people are misunderstood. I mean, they can be easily be fooled by by repeatedly saying some false acquisition. You can make any untruth to truth. So that is what is happening in the society. So we should distinguish abuse from principle. So if you take that same principle, then everything can be, for example, in democracy, so many things are happening, so many untruths, so many corruptions are happening. So we can say the whole democracy system is corrupted. We should avoid democracy. And we can socialism, similarly capitalism, religion, any system, you can always find some fault and abuse. And we can say that when everything should be demolished. That is not practical. So that is not acceptable. So we need to understand the principle. The principle is eternal. That is no change in these things, right? So we should not allow, or we should not get fooled by all these motivated politicians or leaders, so-called people who are against Varnashrama Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, who accuse Sanatana Dharma, giving some wrong idea, these people should be should be rejected, and the real teaching should be taught to the people. Then only these people will be quiet. Unless people who really follow Sanatana Dharma knows what is Sanatana Dharma, what is Varnashrama Dharma, what is Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhagavatham, we will be exploited. We will not have any voice to rise. So therefore, that's why we need to study these principles very strongly. And we have to understand, we have to see from the eyes of Bhagavad Gita and scriptures. And there is no confusion in these things. If we get this knowledge, then nobody can cheat us and nobody can fool us. And lastly, we need to understand that bhakti transcends all the varnas. Krishna does not say that one only particular class of people can worship. He says very clearly, Mam hi partha vepasita yepisyo papa yonayoha. Anyone who takes shelter of Krishna can attain supreme destination. So it doesn't require that you have to be only a Brahmana, or you can be a Vaishya, Sudra, or anybody, doesn't matter at all. As long as you develop pure devotion to Krishna, doesn't matter. So that is what the whole Bhagavad Gita teaching is about. That's why in our Krishna conscious society also, that people are there from all walks of people. People born in America to Australia to Europe to Africa. How they are practicing these principles of Bhagavad Gita. We don't say, oh, he is an African, he is an American. No, he's an European. Everyone is invited to do practice Bhakti Yoga, to do devotion to Krishna. We don't classify people based on their jati or the birth or the color of the body. No, there is no distinction at all. Because the ultimate aim of all these things is what? To develop pure devotion to Krishna. Therefore, this society is called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So many times, even Prabhupada was there, many people accused that how you are making all the people devotee of Krishna because they are not born in Brahminical family or they are not born in India. How they can, chant Bhagavad Gita, how they can worship Krishna. So there, Prabhupada said, where does Krishna says that only Hindus should worship Krishna? I mean, no, Krishna says everyone belongs to him. So this is from the material point of view, there may be some differences, but from spiritual point, we don't give importance to the body because everyone is a spirit soul, Atma, and everyone belongs to Krishna. So the real problem is what Krishna says there is only two division of people. In the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there are only two classes. One is the Devatas, and the other one is the Asuras. So Devatas means they accept Krishna, Asuras means they don't accept Krishna. That's all. There's no other difference. The other external difference are only for the harmony of the society. But real principle is that one who is a devotee, one who is a Deva. When anyone who worships Krishna is a Devata. And anyone who's not accepting Krishna, he becomes a demon. So that's all. These are only two classes of people, atheist and theist. That's all. Anyone who accepts God, he all belongs to one class. And who are atheists, they belong to the other class. That's all. So therefore, we have to understand this. So therefore, the Manu laws, as we are seeing, the Manus, they are giving the laws for our welfare. Just like the government is making the law, traffic rules. Why? Because for the safety of our own safety and safety of others. Same way, the Supreme Lord has given all the rules. And these rules has to be understood by studying Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Then only there will be peaceful in the society and people can be happy, really happy. And that is the whole aim of this Varnashrama system, the Sanatana Dharma. Now you all know what is Sanatana Dharma, what is Varnashrama Dharma, everything. So please, you should practice it and you should also teach to your generation, other next generation. Therefore, there will not be any confusion and people will not be easily cheated. So that is the whole purpose of this session. Okay. So like this, there are so many, you will be seeing that so many other prayers also is coming. and we'll see continue in our next class also. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. Anyone would like to add or ask some questions?
Prabhuji, I have one silly doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
In Siddha Loka, are there only 8 Siddhis?
Siddha Lokas, I can't hear you after that.
These in Siddha Loka.
I don't know, some of the voice is breaking today. I don't know, problem with me or their website. Or
I'll type it.
you can do the, yeah, please repeat.
Yeah. In Siddha Loka,
Can't hear you.
I'll type it, Prabhuji.
Please type it.
Are there only
In Siddha Loka, only 8 siddhas. 8 siddhis.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. I did not know.
In
That's
Siddha
why.
Loka, there are only 8 cities. I don't know exactly whether 8 cities. I have to check it out. Why there
But
should be only 8?
Attama siddhis, 8 siddhis. That's why Madam asked. Siddhis, 8 siddhis.
Probably I don't know exactly. Check and let me know, Mataji, next week. Okay. Anything else?
One hypothetical question arises.
Okay. So, yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Which was the highest form of Lord's avatars? Can you take Narasimha avatar or Krishna avatar, Ram avatar? How you rate all these avatars based on their qualities and based on their activities in the world, based on their what they did? They killed asuras and they redeemed the world. Everything they did. All the avatars. But we always say Krishna avatar is the supreme avatar. But still, Narasimha avatar has been almost proclaimed as one of the best in avatars. Can you clarify a small clarification? That's all.
Prabhuji, again, and the voice was breaking a lot. I could not connect your full question actually.
Then I will ask you, no problem.
Group, I will answer it. Okay. Somehow today line is not clear. Okay.
We are
So,
talking about
so we'll close it now for today's session. Thank you very much for joining us. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyasya patitanam bhavebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatham ki jai, Srimad Gurudev